this is Mino from Mino Designs, and since Valentine's Day is just around the corner, this will be the final video inspired by it. And today I'll be showing you not one or two but 4 different cards that you can do and give your loved ones. So although each of these cards are different to each other and uses different techniques, each of these cards are super easy to do and very simple, and I'll take you through the entire process for all cards, and it will take around 10 minutes per card, so don't forget to give it a shot and let me know how it goes. If you do give it a try, don't forget to share it with me, as I'd love to see your work as well. And yeah, watch till the end and find out the different twists I have for each card. So for the first card, what I'm going to do first is sketch out the design, and for this I'm drawing a leaf. You don't have to draw the same leaf that I'm drawing. You can use any type of leaf that you wish. I'm drawing a monstera, and that is particularly because I like the shape of it and how it looks. And once I'm done with the sketch, I go into add the watercolors, and I'm mixing my colors first. You feel free to mix the colors that you wish would go well, but you don't have to restrict yourself to a certain palette. I'm going with greens, but you're free to use any color combination that you like. Just make sure each of the colors that you use complements each other. Yeah, so I stuck to the green palette because I thought, it will be nice and bring out the effect that I like. And yeah, I'm mixing in a few yellows and greens to get the shading and the lines done, and do a little bit of blending here and there. Yeah. So I'm just finishing up on the blending, and once I'm done and satisfied with how it looks, I'm going in with my pencil and adding the text that I want to go on the card. And what I want to mention here is that you don't have to use watercolors for this. You can use any you can even do it black and white, or if you have watercolor pencils or just color pencils, crayons, anything. You can use anything you want. I'm just using watercolors because I really love watercolors and experimenting with it. And yeah, so you see why I wanted to draw a leaf, and I mentioned it's okay to draw any sort of leaf because there's a little bit of pun in this card. And yeah, so once I'm done with that, I am going in with my pen. I'm using a fine liner that is 0.2 micron pen, and then I'm adding in the outlines and just adding a bit of details here and there, just how I want to. And yeah, nothing here is definite, it's just play as it goes sort of for me. This was not pre-planned or anything, so yeah, it took very little time for me to complete. And this is a closer look at it, and yeah, it's very clean and crisp, and I have a little bit of different lines going here and there just to add a bit of depth. And now we are on to our second card, and for this I'm going to ask you to guess what I'm going to draw for this. So quickly go down and comment below what you feel I'm going to draw. Well, it doesn't take a lot of time to take a guess, right? So I'm first sketching out a wine glass here, and making sure that it's the way I want it to look and it's centered. So once I'm done with the sketch of the wine glass, then I'm adding in the text that I want to go. Again, you don't have to restrict yourself to what I use. You can let your imagination free and add whatever you want. And so I am first adding in the liner, the fine liner, before I add the watercolors, and you'll see why. So again, I'm using the same pen that I used in the previous card, the 0.2 fine liner. And for this is a new technique actually that I've never done before. I'm taking in a small piece of polythene or plastic, and I'm mixing the colors that I want to go on it. Just make sure there's enough water and color on it, because you'll be spreading it out on the paper. So once I have the color that I want, I'm flipping it around and pasting it on the paper and just fixing with my finger where I want it to go, because I want to get a splash effect on this. And as you can see, I'm adding in some additional colors just to get that perfect color that I want and I have in my mind, but it's completely up to you. And I'm using a second brush to just get on that splash effect a bit more, and it allows you to show some sprinkles here and there. And yeah, so once that is completely dry, then I'm going in with my fine liner and adding in the text, and that's about it. And this is how it looks. It was a really fun technique, and since I hadn't done it before, I really enjoyed it. And that brings us to our next card, and for this I'm again sketching out the outline that I want to go. And this is a very simple card, so it doesn't take a lot of time and effort. It's just a matter of mixing a few colors, and yeah, it was really simple to do. If you can see, I'm actually drawing a rainbow for this, and yeah, I'm just mixing up a few colors together and bringing out that rainbow effect, and you can see how that looks. I'm using a multiple number of colors. Actually, I'm not sticking to like one or two colors. I'm using quite a few colors just to get as many colors as I can in there, because I wanted it to be very colorful. The trick here is to make sure that all the colors are well blended and there are no rough lines or anything on the colors. And yeah, so this is the final color that I'm adding in, and all these colors are pastel shades because I didn't want to have any bold colors going, but pretty much a lot of colors went into this rainbow. And then once I'm done with the watercolors, I'm adding in the text. And if you've noticed, all the cards that I've done so far had some pun included, and this is no different. I'm adding one on this as well. If you can make a guess what it is. Yeah, so it says "You're my rainbow," and I think it was a pretty cute one. And yeah, I'm just going in with my fine liner and adding a little bit more lines, outlines, and just to make sure that there is more depth in the card, and then adding a little bit more dots and circles just to fill up that white space. So once I'm done at adding a little bit more depth, I'm going in with a little bit more hearts, because what I realized was that there is a little bit of red missing in the card, and I wanted to add it. So this is such an easy and quick card to do. I really like how it looks and how simple it was. Yeah, and that's about it for this one. Now we move on to our final card. Okay, so for this again, I'm doing the sketch first, and if you don't have any idea yet, you'll get an idea in a few seconds, or yeah, a little bit. I'm trying just to get this right before I go in with the color and the pen. It's just not turning out right, so I'm just erasing and getting it the way I want, the way I have it planned out in my head. Okay, so this is actually a cup of coffee, and I'm just mixing up a few colors to get the color that I want. Mixing up a few browns, and yeah, I'm just drawing and coloring out the little areas, just making sure everything is blended and just the way I want it. This is actually perfect for like a coffee lover. You'll see why later. I mean, let me know what you think of these 4 cards and which one you prefer the most. Yeah, and for the foamy bit, I'm actually mixing up a little bit of white and using the brown that is already in my brush. I'm not adding any brown, just to give that effect, the mixed up effect. And I'm adding a little bit of red just for the heart to stand out. And once I'm done with my first layer, I'm just adding up a little bit of sprinkles here and there with my other brush. And then I'm going in and adding the color that I want to go on the handle of the cup. I chose blue because it's a bit more contrasting to the brown and the red. So once I'm happy with the colors, I'm just adding a little bit more dots with my watercolors around the paper, and then once I'm done with that, I'm just letting it dry up a bit, and then I go in and add the text. And this is the final one, I love you a latte. And so once that is done, I'm making sure that the whole piece is dry before I go in with a pen, because if not it tends to smudge. And make sure when you're drawing on watercolor that you use a waterproof pen, because if not it tends to smudge. So I'm done with the outline. I'm actually adding in a little bit more detail inside the cup. And that is almost it. Just adding up a little bit of details here and there, and adding a little bit of hearts here and there on the card just to add up the space. And that's how it looks. What I also realized is that since I used blue on the handle of the mug, I'll add a little bit of that in the spaces of the card above on the letters, so that there is a cohesiveness to the card. And this is how it looks. This was also a very easy card to do and took very little time. I'd say around close to 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. And these are all the cards that I've done. I hope you do give them a try, and let me know which one is your favorite in the comment sections, and I'll be glad to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. I'll see you soon, and happy Valentine's Day to you and all your loved ones.